So before, quickly, because I know we are on the clock, and there's a clock keeper over here who will be quickly in my ear if I overstep. So we thought it could actually be helpful for you to hear about how we do it at IDF globally. So for example, for the positions that Mark and Joao and myself have on the board, the way it works is that at the General Assembly, which just took place this weekend, we vote for board members that have very specific positions. So, for example, there's a vice president for a physician position. There's a vice president for, I think it's called layperson or non-healthcare person, as we prefer to say. And these all are voted in for the incoming 2 years. It was a bit exceptional this last time because we extended it a year because of COVID, but normally it's a 2-year. And in the case of the president-elect then is actually voted in, so 2 years ahead of time. Now, this is a way for us to actually have continuity and allow there to be conversations from people who will be from one board to another. There's also restrictions as it relates to how many mandates you can serve on a board. For example, if you served 2 consecutive mandates, then you have to stop and there's room for other people. What else am I missing, Joao? Any questions about how that works?
That's just to explain that working groups within the board, there will be a working group working on youth.
Right. So we have, I think, 5 standing committees, if we include youth.
Youth, governance, finance, and audit.
Youth, governance, finance, and audit. So these standing committees are then voted at the first board meeting of every mandate. People are selected to serve on these committees, and these standing committees then, again, yeah, good point in terms of continuity. They're responsible for one subject matter in particular, whether it be finance or in our case, youth, which there's now a standing committee for. So just to provide a bit of context, that's how it works for us, and which is why I think it's very relevant that we do something somewhat similar for you, and that you get familiar with this process, because this is a good way to engage and be part of federation organizations in general, and hopefully IDF at some point in your future as well. So we have a number of trainees that have applied to the regional representative-elect positions. All YLDs could vote. So just giving you a summary here, the trainees from 2022 to 2024, trainees from 2020 to 2022, and mentors and alumni. And the people who are not present at the in-person summit have been able to cast their votes via email. So you'll receive a ballot for your region only. So you're only voting for your region. So please vote for the preferred candidate by ticking their box. And even if you have the right to not vote for anyone, just leave your ticket or ballot blank and please put it in the box so we can make sure we have everyone's votes counted. Ballots with more than one candidate will not be counted. They will be invalid. So again, one candidate ticked. If you do not want to give your vote to any of the candidates, that's what I already said, then you can leave the vote blank. Oops. Any questions on that? Yeah. Do we want to cover that now? It's a relevant question, yeah.
So, as you said, as you know, the YLD program have gone through some changes throughout the years. For the past 2 years was like really challenging for the regional reps due to the COVID, and so the idea is that they be the main focal point between the YLDs of your regions and the executive office. They will, now that we have a committee, a youth committee established, we also try especially with João sitting on the board again. We'll try to push hard to make that the reps have an active voice within the youth working group. So mainly, they are your regional representatives within the YLD program. They have some specific responsibilities on which we share by email. Honestly, I can't remember by heart, but I can check later and share.
No, I mean, it's a very relevant question, I think, in terms of doing the elections for these, what will they be responsible for? I think when I think about it, just kind of at a high level, it's really about, okay, do we have common needs in our region, similar to how it works for us on the IDF board? There are regional chairs for a particular region, whether it's NAC or Europe or MENA, what have you. Are there similar needs that you want to voice together? And I would encourage the regional reps, and I know Bruno alluded to it, that it hasn't happened so much over these last few years. It's been a difficult few years. But to really, out of their own prerogative, get together and have meetings on a frequent basis. And I think I would really encourage those of you who end up in these roles to do that. You don't need to wait for us to tell you to do it. Do it yourself, organize yourself, and help us understand the needs of your region. And within your own region, I think you can help coordinate and bridge conversation between countries. This is what IDF is all about. This is what the Federation approach is all about. Yes, there was a question at the back.
Can I go back to the previous topic about comparing the IDF General Assembly with
Yes.
because I was a part as a delegate for my organization. I was
Yes, please.
So I don't know the position. Like the pre-elected president, president-elect. Yeah. Sorry. So they made speech before. So it made a difference, I think, for some people. So they decided how to vote, maybe also based on their message and the way they presented it. Is there a way to hear some of the representatives speak as well?
So the answer for that is no. Is not only because of time, but because it will be unfair for those who couldn't make. So it was asked if we could have some moments for the candidates to speak and share their thoughts, and the answer for this is no, because it would be unfair for the candidates who could not make to the face-to-face training. So to be fair with everyone, we prefer not to do this.
That being said, I think your point is well taken, and maybe for next time round we can have videos in place to make it available for everyone. And the only other thing, since you did mention the GA, that I would add is that in addition to the global GA, there are regional councils that take place. There are separate elections in these regions. Sounds like you may have been involved in your own region, so you know how it works. And there are separate board members that are elected at the regional level and president-elects at the regional level with this same 2-year rotation. And again, this idea of president and president-elect working together for the sake of continuity of everything that previous board was doing, was facing, and hopes to achieve. So I hope that gives some context to it. And I think for the sake of time, we're going to jump right into it, if that's all right with everyone, yeah? Okay. The candidates are... Oh, I'm going to be responsible for pronouncing names correctly, aren't I here? I've just realized what I've signed up to. Anita from Botswana. Al-Hassan Diallo from Guinea. Tino from Zimbabwe. If you're in the room, please stand up as I'm mentioning your name. For the European region, Zuzana Brzezinska from Poland. Ricardo de Oliveira from Portugal. For the MENA region, Nijin, is that right? Negin, I'm sorry. Negin Shamshiri from Iran. Andrew Martin from Lebanon. It's incorrect. So just Andrew. Okay. Raya from Lebanon.
But you have been signing things as Martin. I know, it's a long story.
Okay, we'll get to that. Huda from Morocco. Aya from Sudan. Zomorda from Tunisia. Okay, so those are our candidates. Sorry? It's great selection, great number of candidates from MENA. Wonderful to see. Okay, from the NAC region, we have Isha from Belize. From the Saca region, we have Isabela Blanco from Costa Rica. Alejandro Cabrera from Ecuador. Okay, from Southeast Asia, we have Rubia from Bangladesh. Thank you. And we have Fatih Mohammed from the Maldives. And from the Western Pacific region, we have Laura Snowden from New Zealand. Okay, any questions about the candidates? I think we had one candidate that dropped out this morning because of other commitments. They decided that they weren't able to, would be able to fulfill the time needed for the post, and that was Layla. So any other questions, let us know. If not, we'd like to proceed to voting now, please.
Just before we go, just to ask. So just before we go, I'll just kindly ask for the regional reps who are becoming the regional reps for their regions to stand up so they can know who you are. And Diana, representing the ones that are leaving us, I would like to thank you for all your work and for all your commitment on this place for years. Okay, so now we're gonna circulate with the ballots. Literally, guys, you have 1 minute to vote. We're gonna give you the pens, and then we're gonna be waiting outside with the box so you can drop. Please remain in your seats to make our lives easier.